Well, we're gonna let the lesson begin right here. How do I get her to go back like that when I need her to? One way is just smack her a little bit on the shoulder with that lead. I'll just go ahead and back. There. Well, the back is almost getting too good. But here we are, we're in the round corral. Got her saddled up. I need to do a couple things with her on the ground, then I'll be putting the snaffle bit on her. And like I said, I'm going to check that cinch 2 more times. Let me do a couple things on the ground. I want to make sure that that cinch doesn't kind of bite her and surprise her when she disengages. So I'm just going to get her to come in. I'm just going to take this space, get her to disengage, and that looked pretty good. Now I want to see if I can get her to move her shoulder over, and this is a little bit harder for her, but that was one step. And in the beginning, I take one step and a reward. That moving the forequarter over is really difficult for her right now. I've spent a little bit of time on it, but not enough. We're going to spend a lot more. So I'm going to try to get one more. This time I'm just going to use direct pressure and wait and there, and now give her a rub. This is pretty simple. Now I kind of want to do it all from the other side too. So I'm just going to take this space, get her to move that hind over. Moving her hind end away from me is something that she's got to learn too when she's at liberty out in the pasture and I need to go catch her. She's not hard to catch, but she doesn't turn and face me the way I like. And so, you know, within, I don't know, a couple, 3 weeks, if I work with her, you won't be able to get her to not face you when you go try to get her. And I like that, and Bull's the same way. Right now, he will always face me when I go out to get him. All right, now we've moved that hind quarter. Now I just need to get this shoulder to move over. There. All I'm looking for is just the leg toward me to cross over the other leg, and then we can stop and pet. Now, I'm going to check that cinch. And I always like to put the stirrup up there. Some people will tell you that's dangerous and it might fly down and hit you in the face. I'm not worried about that. That cinch feels really good to me. So I'm going to go ahead and put this snaffle bit bridle on. And this is such an easy horse. I hope I'm not trying to make a big deal out of this, because it's not. Certainly not a colt, not an unstarted horse, but she's certainly not finished either. A finished horse to me would be much softer. Okay, now let her just have that for a moment. Let her think it through. I'm not sure what she's been used to. Like I said, maybe people have been in a hurry with her before. Maybe they just throw the saddle on, slam the bit in there, and off the trail, down the trail you go. I want her to learn I will always give her the time that it takes, and I won't rush her. That said, when we have a job to do, we're going to try to get the job done. So let's see now how she responds when I ask for her to open her mouth and take that bit. I am putting my thumb in there, but I'm not forcing her to open her mouth. She seems to like that bit. She's licking and kind of sucking on it. So, this is Bull's bridle and head stall, and don't know if it's going to fit. Looks a little loose to me. So I'm going to count the holes. 1, 2, 3, and figure out what I have to do. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to take it up 1 notch on either side. Now this is an opportunity to get a little rough with your horse if you're not careful. And Imagine having a big piece of metal in your mouth and somebody yanking on a piece of leather that's attached to it. So I'm going to go as slow and gentle as I can. And try to respect the fact that she's got that in there. This will help build softness down the road. I think she's going to be soft anyway. Let me just toss that out of the round corral there. Hey, that may be good. That old rule about 2 wrinkles, I don't really follow that, but it is a guide. I want to make sure that that bit is not hitting any teeth. I don't think it is. I think I'm going to tighten it up one more. There. I'm going to go ahead and put the throat latch on. And now I'm going to do a few things on the ground, and then I'll check that cinch one more time. So she tossed her head there. Not sure what that was. We're going to keep an eye on that. I'm going to see how she does. Yeah, okay. Not very smooth, but she did release. And of course she's distracted by the grass, but I want to keep an eye on all that mouth action. I want it to calm down. I don't mind her sucking on that bit, but I don't want it to become something where she's constantly trying to adjust it. That's nice breathing out there. If she moves her feet, and all I want is a bend, I'm not going to let her, I'm not going to release on that. I'm going to go with her so that she learns moving my feet when all Mark wants is a bend doesn't really, doesn't do anything. Okay. This is where a lot of that groundwork with the halter starts to pay off. Now, I'm going to move her. I like a horse to move her feet, and I get to stand here. There, that'll go. So the reason I do that is I don't want the horse learning, well, I can move Mark's feet whenever I want. That's one of those deals that's not good. I can move her feet, she can't move mine. That's sort of a rule for me. I will move my feet, of course, but something simple like that, I'll just make her move. Okay, let her get used to that bit. Okay, now I'm going to ask her again. I want some bending. Come on, baby. Bend. There you go. Oh, a little brace there. Not going to give to that. There. She put some slack in that, and that was nice. So I think we're okay. Let me move her now. Bend her around. There. And I'll check that cinch one more time. Tighten it up one. Okay. Now I know she's safe to get on, but I'm going to treat it like I kind of don't know. So make sure that she's squared up, ready for me. There. And going to get my foot in that stirrup, which is kind of difficult. And then I'm going to have a short rein and my hand in the mane. And of course, before I throw a leg over, I'm going to make sure everything's good. She seems nice and relaxed. I'm going to give her a little rhythm. And then up I go. Now that saddle is moving. She just went for the grass. I'm saying, no, I don't think so. Oh, you're okay. And just like I do on Bull, every time I get on him, and I mean every time, we're just going to stand here so that I don't teach this horse when I get on, you're free to move your feet. I want her to think when Mark gets on, I'm free to stand there until he asks me for something better. So, she wants to go to the grass, which is fine. That tells me she's not worried about me up here, and that's good. But still trying to get used to that bit. I may decide that's not the right bit for her after all, but I don't think it's not bad, at least not now. So this is great. She hasn't moved a foot since I got on, and in fact, because of where we're at and what I'm trying to teach her, I'm gonna go ahead and get off. Girl. Check this fit out a little bit. Seems like it ought to stay on there better. Yeah. I could tighten that rear cinch up one. Make sure that didn't bother her. So now I think I will go ahead, get on again, and we'll stand for a moment, and then I'm going to ask her for the walk. And it's going to be interesting to see how she responds. I'm going to be looking at her ears and just trying to feel out her body language. Now that she didn't go for the grass. Now she did, but she went to scratch her face on her leg, and that's a little different than going for the grass. So I might, if I have to, I'll wrap that around the horn. I don't think I have to, but it helps me get my foot up if I lift it with my arm. Now I'll put a loop in this. Short rein, and hand in the mane, and get right on. Saddle does move a little bit more than it does on Bull, but I think it's okay. Give her a moment. It's really amazing how she doesn't move a foot. A lot of horses be all over the place. All right. Now I'm going to ask her to go. And I really don't care which way. I'm just going to let her there. She just was going to go into the rail and stop, so she's walking along just fine. Her ears are forward for the most part. The saddle does feel a little precarious. I know a guy up in Longmont, Colorado. His name's Dick. He owns a used saddle shop. He does sell some new saddles. Just checking out her neck reining.